Nicki Minaj just ran away to an undisclosed location with her entire family after her house got broken into by strange men with firearms in the middle of the night. Nicki has been getting targeted a lot recently, especially since she started exposing industry executives including Jay-Z. Not too long ago, she was arrested in Amsterdam for literally nothing, and according to sources, that was actually an attempt on her life, but she was able to make it out alive because she jumped on Instagram right after it happened and told everyone that she was being detained. As if all that wasn't shady enough, strange men have now been showing up at her house, and her house has been involved in 3 SWAT calls within the last year alone. Nicki is done keeping quiet, and she is now spilling all the tea about everything she's had to go through just to stay alive. Okay, so for those of y'all who are somehow out of the loop about what's going on, it all started just a few days ago when the police were called to Nicki's house because one of her neighbors claimed that they heard multiple shots coming from her property. The person who made the call even went as far as claiming that Nicki had been shot by a friend of hers and that she was lying down unconscious with multiple wounds. But guess what, y'all? The police later found out that it was a SWAT call and that the person who made the call completely made it up to waste their time and possibly put Nicki and her family in danger. I mean, imagine if the cops had pulled up ready to because they thought there was an intruder and then accidentally ended up firing at Nicki or her 4-year-old son. A lot of things could have gone wrong, but clearly the person who made the call thinks it's funny to not only endanger Nicki, but to also waste the police time. In fact, the cops were reportedly hesitant to reveal the exact house they received the call for, but Nicki's messy neighbor ran to TMZ and told them that it was Nicki's house. Not only that, but the swatter made the call from a business line, not their personal line, so it has been difficult for the cops to figure out who exactly it is. Another reason why this got people's attention and had them speculating that there was something shady going on was because this wasn't the first time Nicki's house had been swatted. So they should have found the culprit by now, but the police have not been putting any effort at all into figuring out who's behind it. The first one was back in June 2023 when someone made a call to the police reporting Nicki and her husband of inappropriately messing with their 4-year-old son. The entire police were there, and according to sources who spoke to TMZ, Nicki was very annoyed to see them on her property with their sirens flashing all over her face. Just a little over a month after this BS, the police were called over to her house again, and this time the person who made the call said Nicki had been fired. But this time around, Nicki wasn't playing, and she actually hired her own team to figure out who was making the calls, and guess what? They found the person within a few days. This means the police were purposely trying not to figure it out, and people believe it's because they were getting paid to not do anything. Nicki actually came out and tweeted all about it, and she said, "To the woman who made those swatting calls to my house, was it worth it, Dumbo?" She said in another tweet, "Stephanie Bell, a warrant is in the system. Great detective work, so grateful. The DA filed 1 count for the swatting call and 1 for the false report to DCFS. To God be the glory." Now, this entire thing got people talking because it's one thing for a celebrity's house to get swatted, and it's another thing for the police to purposefully not do anything about it. I mean, Nicki literally had to find her own people to do the job that the police should have done just to find out who was messing with her and her family. Some people even speculated that the reason why Nicki's life was being targeted was because she had been going crazy with exposing the industry lately and they want to take her out. She is one of the few celebrities with a mainstream audience who actively speaks on the depraved things that go on in the industry, and she sometimes even goes as far as mentioning names. Do y'all remember when she was going at it with Megan and then jumped on X to go off on Jay-Z and Desiree Perez too? These are the 2 people that everyone knows not to mess with, and Nicki did it without a care in the world for her life. She tweeted, "Spending so much money, but she's the little broke independent artist. Desiree, you gotta let it go, baby. The world knows she's ASS and can't rap. Stop effing trying to make fetch happen. Hashtag Bigfoot. I just put out a song with no promo, no video. It's already 2.
If that Rock Nation brunch got you feeling like you could talk about my family, and I have a 3-year-old innocent child, have had my home swatted twice with drawn, they magically, no one seemed to find the person."
As if this wasn't bad enough, she went off on the popular hip-hop journalist Elliott Wilson for his association with Jay after he attacked her for doing a live stream with Kai Cenat. Elliott, if you'd spit Jay-Z out for 1 second, you'd be able to be happy for the newcomers. Isn't that how y'all tried to tarnish my image by saying I'm not welcoming new girls in? Did songs with all of them though. Why you not happy for a young black man like Kai? Tomorrow B.
You know how many tweets I've seen you post disrespecting me, Idiot Wilson? all of y'all, for some reason, when y'all are around certain people, y'all feel that y'all have this power. Why? When y'all have an affiliation to Jay-Z in some sort of way, y'all be thinking that y'all can disrespect and violate.
Oh, but that's not the end of it, y'all. A few months ago, when Nicki got arrested in Amsterdam for possession, the YouTuber Storm Monroe revealed that Jay-Z and his people were allegedly behind it. Apparently, there's a paid mole in Nicki's team that was getting paid to give info about Nicki's everyday activity, and this mole is the one who allegedly helped Jay and his people set Nicki up.
So let's get into the intel that I was told. So what I was told was that allegedly Jay-Z and Roc Nation is behind this. Jay-Z and Roc Nation has been after Nicki for a while, especially after she released that song Bigfoot, Goodfoot. But even long before then, there had been beef, which I did not realize. So from what I'm being told, wait, let me read the intel as it's coming in. That's why they waited till she was overseas to do this to her. Roc Nation wanted to make sure that when she got arrested or apprehended for whatever, because you know in the industry they can get you set up with all kinds of charges. All right. It said that they wanted to make sure her husband was not with her because her husband is her protection, which we know that, but we know bankrupt Nicki. And this is why there has been several stories planted about her being broke, going broke, or needing to constantly tour because she's close to being broke. So listen, this was absolute setup and sabotage. And if I was Nicki, I would fire my whole team. Fire the whole security team. There is a mole. Get rid of them all. There is a mole. Because now that I think about it, Roc Nation got Meg. The only competition that Nicki has is Meg. Let's keep it real. It ain't Lotto. It ain't Mocha Latte. What's the other rappers out here? There's nobody. It ain't Cardi. I know y'all wanted it to be Cardi. It ain't Cardi. She was absolutely set up. Also, Tory Lanez was supposed to sign the Roc Nation first, and the second option was Meg. See? But y'all remember when Tory Lanez's daddy said, "This is Roc Nation," we all thought he was crazy.
Because you are carrying...
I'm not carrying.
Okay, but it's not a question here. I think it's...
I'm not carrying. Number one, when I came here,
Yeah.
the
Okay,
back.
you can go inside.
No, I'm not going in there. I need a lawyer present.
You will get a lawyer. It's
No,
no
I
problem.
need a lawyer present now.
Okay, please.
Where am I going? I have no idea where
you
I'm
have
going.
to go to the police station.
What address is that?
It's 5 minutes away.
It's
They
5 minutes
texted
away.
it.
What's the address of the police precinct?
When you will catch your next show, we have to do it very fast. And we will help, but
You're talking about my show?
yes.
What about it?
So basically, Nicki was supposed to have her first show in Amsterdam to start off the European leg of her Pink Friday 2 tour. But the show ended up getting canceled because of this mess with the feds. They've been trying to stop me from coming to every show. They took my bags before I could see them, put it on the plane, now saying they're waiting on customs. This is what it looks like when people are paid big money to try to sabotage a tour after all else failed. Everything they've done is illegal. She also jumped on Twitter and accused a certain group of people of trying to sabotage her tour and stealing money from her. According to Nicki, she's been going through these constant harassment and unnecessary searches at the airport all the time, but this time they decided to go all out by accusing her of transporting substances. She also accused her tour manager of stealing over $30,000 to $40,000 on her whenever she gets on a flight and lying to her about the cost of the flight when she asks. Nicki is really rich, y'all, because why the hell did it take her this long to realize someone was stealing this much money from her on a daily basis? They've been trying everything they possibly can to try to stop this tour. They took my luggage, and when I asked where it is, they said it's on the plane. It couldn't have been. I just pulled it. They're being paid big money to try to sabotage my tour because so many people are mad that it's this successful, and they can't eat off me. They got caught stealing money from my travel/jets, got fired, got mad. This is how they plant things in your luggage. They try to make me book another jet every time, all because I fired management who I found out for years were adding on 30 to 50K on my jet and pocketing it. I fired a tour manager recently who was doing the same thing and mad he got the boot. Their goal is to make me late and to pocket 40K. There's clearly been weird things happening, and Nicki is convinced that someone is trying to come for her. And even though it sounds crazy, people believe she might be onto something because there's too many things happening for it to be a coincidence. In fact, Nicki just relocated to New York, and she posted about this herself when she made this cryptic post showing off her view from the building. She was clearly sending a cryptic message to the people coming after her that she isn't scared because they can easily figure out her location by using some of the buildings that appeared in her video. As usual, people have their own thoughts, like this person who said, Nicki just bought that home not long ago. Her moving from place to place won't change anything. Someone is out to get her in some way. I rebuke that. I pray God keeps her and her child safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. Another person said the people that do swatting/false police reports should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. God forbid someone's child gets hurt behind people's stupidity. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Nicki's house getting swatted? And do y'all think they are really trying to take her out? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.